Hello everybody, Mark here in China once again with the Electric Viking, and I've got a very exciting product for you today. It is the Xiaomi U7. This is Xiaomi's second model, their first SUV, full electric car, as you would expect, and it is very impressive. It's going to be a massive seller. Bear in mind, in the first 12 months, the Xiaomi U7 has delivered over 250,000 units and has a 51-week waiting list to get hold of one. SUVs outsell their saloon counterparts by 3 to 1, which means this is going to be a massively successful product. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you around the Xiaomi U7. Let's take a look. So here it is, the Xiaomi U7, and you may remember that the Xiaomi SU7 looked quite similar to a Porsche Taycan, lots of Taycan influence in there. This one very much has influence from the Ferrari Purosangue, which is not a bad thing because, in my opinion, I think this looks pretty spectacular. Check that out. One thing you don't really get in photographs is the curvature of the back end here, which you can see is really quite curved. It tends to look a bit flat in photographs, looks a lot nicer here. That whole loop there lights up in red all around the car. And yeah, it's kind of Xiaomi's signature look. And here we have the Max version. There are 3 versions of this car going to be available: Standard, Pro and Max. At some point in the future, I'm going to guess there's probably going to be an Ultra as well, but not yet. They've got to launch the car first. So the standard version, let's give you some specs. The standard version comes with a single motor, 235 kilowatts on the rear axle. It's about 588 Newton meters of torque, and that one will do 0 to 100 in 5.88 seconds. Comes with a 96.3 kilowatt hour battery for a CLTC range of 835 kilometers. The Pro version in the middle is dual motor, same 235 kilowatts on the back, additional 135 kilowatts on the front, and that one's 130 kilowatts on the front. So that one's 365 kilowatts of power, 760 I think Newton meters of torque, I believe, and 0 to 100 in 4.27 seconds. That one comes with the same battery pack as the standard, which is LFP, and that will get you 770 kilometers of range on CLTC. The Max version, this one that we have here, is dual motor again, total power, not sure what the split is, 508 kilowatts, which is, there's a dog here, look at this. They've got a dog to show it's a family friendly car. That one has a 866 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 3.23 seconds. And I can tell you, we drove a Max yesterday, blisteringly quick, crazy fast. That one comes with a 101.7 kilowatt battery NMC, will charge from 10 to 80% in 12 minutes. Apologies for the background noise, there is a digger over there. That one will do 760 kilometers of range on the CLTC cycle, which is about 60 more than the dual motor version of the Zeekr 7X, which this car will be competing against. Now this one is actually just 1 millimeter under 5 meters, so it is longer than the 7X, but it is a lot shorter. It's also just 1.6 meters tall. It does look a lot lower than most other SUVs. It feels more like a kind of a slightly tall shooting brake design somehow in real life. You get, by the way, 19, 20 or 21 inch alloys. There are 6 different designs on this. It also comes on the Max version, the standard, with dual chamber air suspension that can raise the ride height by 50 millimeters or lower it by 25, giving you a maximum ground clearance of 222 millimeters, which is 8 less than the Zeekr 7X for comparison, which is a useful amount of off-road ability for a car that is this size. Now, let's do this. Let's see if the car will listen to us. Shout ai tongxue. Okay, the car's not turned on. So basically, you can actually open the bonnet by talking to the car. So I'll just simply press this button instead on the side. It's got an electronic frunk on it, which is nice. You can also just stand in front of the car with your digital key to open it. Inside there, 141 litres of space. It does come with a drain plug as well. So you can do it with your key on your phone, you can do it with the button on the side, or you can talk to the car and open it, but it's not listening to me right now. I think it's probably not activated while it's sat here on this field. So yeah, really useful 141 litre frunk on there. Let's head round to the back. I'll show you the boot space on this car. Press the button down there. You can also talk to the boot to open that as well. Useful amount of space in here, 680 litres of space with the seats up. You can fold the rear seats down to get 1,758 litres of space. So it's a pretty useful amount of room in there. There's also a bit of extra space under the boot floor here, which is useful if you need it. A good deep pocket down there. You can, of course, lower the rear seats electronically via that button there, because they are electronic reclining, the seats on this. By the way, also you can get, as you might be able to see just on the front wheel over here, Brembo brake calipers too. So it'll stop 100 to 0 in about 33.9 meters, something like that. So let me take you inside the U7. And if you probably know about the U7 already, this, I think, is a big step up from the U7. The overall perceived quality, the choice of materials is just better than on the U7. This one feels much tighter, much better put together. You get lovely things, kind of like soft leather on the door. You get Alcantara in there as well. The leather goes down to the bottom. This is the only plastic you'll find here. The seats are leather. You can get optional Napa leather on this. You get real carbon fiber here on the dashboard, on these two kind of coves that go around the back of the dashboard, or you can get wood grain in there, so real wood as well. And then, I don't know if you can see this, let's just check out at the back. This is what they call the Hypervision screen. So instead of having a head-up display, like a lot of cars have, the Xiaomi comes with what are essentially 3 head-up displays down there at the bottom that reflect onto the black part of the glass here, giving you this really wide 1.1 meter long screen across the back. And you get your driving functions over here, you get your maps and stuff in the middle, and over there you can get things like music. You can also get your lyrics and stuff for listening to music on there and singing along. And they also have these 2 cute little characters. You can get either a capybara, which is really popular in China for some reason, or an otter. And they're like digital characters that dance around and move around the 2 screens on the right side, not in front of the driver. You can turn them off and on, of course, because many people might not like that. But they're pretty funky. I'm not sure I can find that in the system for you, because that would be a nice thing to show if I could. But yeah, when the car turns around the corner, the animals swing to the side like they're kind of facing G-forces, which is quite fun. Anyway, I'm not going to focus on that. We get a 16.3-inch 3K screen in the middle. This is quite a lovely interface in here. You've got these lovely tiles which you can slide along. You can also drag them out to make them bigger. You can make them full screen if you want to. Drag that one all the way over there, make that a bigger car. So again, nice stuff on there. Tabs across the bottom, and you can, of course, like on the U7, get these aftermarket switches that stick on the bottom of the screen. So if you want physical switches for your ventilation controls, you can get those, and you've got a volume and a press play dial button in the middle as well. You can also attach other things to the side of the screen and to the top, additional accessories that you also had on the U7. We do get twin 80-watt wireless chargers, and they're ventilated down here. Haven't seen 80 watt on a car before. That's pretty impressive. Usually it's about 50. So twin 80-watt wireless chargers. And then there's a lot of other really useful features in here. So let me first show you the password protected glove box, which annoyingly is locked. That's a shame. So I can't open the glove box, but it pops out down here. It's 13.7 litres in size. To get to the back of it, you really have to reach a long way. You can get something like 7 14-inch laptops in there. So it's a big space in there. Now, one thing you might have noticed is this here. Check that out. This is a mounting point. And in the U7, these mounting points were just static. But in the... Oh, the car is talking to me. In the U7, they were just static. You could just mount things on them. In this car, they're powered. So this, for example, is one of the accessories. You can stick in a wireless charger on here. You can also just get a stub that allows you to plug a USB-C socket in for 27 watts of power delivery. You can also do a few other things. You can stick your GoPro on there, other cameras and stuff inside the car. So really useful. You've got 2 of those, one on either side of the dashboard. Let's dive underneath the dash, by the way, because as you know, Xiaomi's an electronics company. They come with all these interesting things, and you can basically dock the Xiaomi walkie-talkies in this gap here. There's also air fragrance things and other tools that you can store in here that become compatible with the car. You'll also see this is a cavity up here for a torch, a Xiaomi torch, like for an emergency, for example, which is quite cool. And then we've got other magnetic stuff. We've got 2 USBs, and then check this out. Here you go. This is a sunglasses holder. They've got magnets there, so you can just store things underneath the dashboard. We also get magnets behind the screen here It's a magnetic tissue box, which is quite useful if you've got kids and they're quite messy. It simply slots into that pod there behind the screen. You can also, if you want to, put it over here. Just drop it on the back. There's also magnets in this section on the back there. So again, another quite useful thing. Let me see if I can find one of the buttons. Here we go. Let me just pull this off. This is quite cool. This is a button that can be programmed to do different things. So for example, you can take this into your house and you can program it so that in your house you press this button and the car will be prepared for a hot day, so it will cool the interior, put the ventilated seats on, the aircon, or if it's winter you can make the car hot. Just press that, the car preps itself very easily. But you can also use this inside the car. They have different mounting points. You can put it up here on the roof like that. There are 2 spots up there. You can put it in the middle down here, 2 spots there. You can pop it on the side of that seat there, also magnetized, and you can stick it on the B pillar over there and on the back of on the other B pillar as well. So you can use it, for example, as an easy access button to open the glove box, for example. You can have it to allow the rear seats to have control of the front seat, to move it out the way so you've got more legroom in the back. Loads of useful things you can do with these little pods, and you can just program them in the system in here. Really useful. Now, talking about the front seats, let me hold down this button here on the side. Now, a lot of cars, big cars in China, get 0 gravity seats in the rear. The Xiaomi U7 gets them in the front, so you get this big leg cushion extension here. The seat lays down about 121 degrees, I think it is, something like that. The same on that side. You can also lay that seat down, 0 gravity mode. And the great thing about this is it gives you really good tilt angle adjustment, so you can get a great driving position in this car. The only downside is no base cushion extension, but apart from that, it's pretty good. It does, of course, come with a LiDAR unit and a 4D millimeter wave radar, so it does come with autonomous driving ability on the highway and in urban settings as well. You get a couple of cup holders in the middle, and you get a large glove box in here. You also get a mounting point up here, by the way, for driving recorders and things like that. And we've got this panoramic roof here, which is difficult to see because it's dark right now, but this is triple layer silver coated. It will block out 99.9% of UV rays, and you can basically make it totally transparent to let light into the cabin, or as you can see now, it's almost totally black. You can literally stare at the sun looking through that, and it works actually even better than physical sun panoramic roof covers, for example, which is great. Very useful. Either 14 speakers or 25 speakers, including 2 in the headrest, and of course that one on the outside so that you can talk to the car. Let's check out the back seats very quickly. Again, lovely materials in here. You get backrest angle adjustment in the door, so you can lower this backrest, make it nice and laid back if you want to. Really good space in this car, by the way. Lots of leg room, plenty of foot room, good, really good thigh support from these rear seats. You can also, of course, mount a tablet on the back of the seat. You can put Android tablets or Apple tablets in there, connect them all to the system. The system is fully compatible with Apple and Android products, which is great. I think Xiaomi's the only one that does a really fully compatible system in here, which is quite impressive, I would say. Down here we've got I think it's 6.68 inch screen, and the good thing about this one is you can literally take it off the car. So let me just lie it on my leg so you can see what's going on there. So down here you can control your ventilation in the back because it's tri-zone climate control. You can heat up the rear seats, all 3 of the rear seats on there, and you can also adjust the angle of them, including this front seat from the back. You can do your maps on here as well. You can also get your music, and there are some other functions in there as well, including that panoramic roof. And interestingly about this car, it's also got 5-zone voice interaction. So most cars come with 4, this one comes with 5. So if you're in the middle here, you can actually talk to the car and say, put my heated seats on, and it will know what you mean. We also get, by the way, of course, an armrest with a pair of cup holders and a bit of space in there. And we get a 5.3 litre drawer under the rear seat for other gubbins and things as well. If you've got kids, you can put nappies and stuff in there. We also get a 4.7 litre fridge in here, which will do 2 to 15 degrees or 35 to 50 degrees, so you can heat stuff up in there as well. So again, really nice, neat features, and you get some USB-C sockets on there as well. As I said, lots of speakers in here, lots of space. Let me just see if we can get the car to do the door opening thingy. Let's try it again at the back. 小爱同学，小爱同学. Okay, she's not working from the back, so I can't show you that. But again, there's a little few design details. You get a boot lip spoiler on here. You can get that in carbon fiber. You also get a twin spoiler at the top. You can also get that in carbon fiber. You can get carbon fiber plates on the door sills down there where it's currently silver. You can also get carbon fiber mirrors on here as well. Of course, you get cameras all around to support that autonomous driving system. And it's got real aero on this as well, by the way. So this is your daytime running light. There's your headlamp. And up here, this is ventilation, kind of an air inlet. It comes all the way up there, pops out at the top of the bonnet. Down here, it goes around the wheel. Around the wheel, it comes out at the back down here. And then at the back, you also get another air outlet down there. So this is going to be a massive seller. We don't know anything about prices until it's launched. By the time this video goes out, we might know about the prices of it. Expecting it to go directly up against the Tesla Model Y. And it's going to be, well, it's just going to be a massive seller, I would say. I can only see this being a huge success for Xiaomi. It's a really composed car. It drives beautifully. One of the rare Chinese cars. Basically, the YU7 is the only other one that really drives like a Western car. It's a very sporty driving experience, but also very comfortable because of that dual chamber air suspension. I think that's pretty much everything about the YU7. So there it is. Let us know in the comments below what you think about this car. This, by the way, I think is going to be the car that's going to stop Xiaomi going to international markets, because they're going to have massive local demand, and until they can build enough factories to produce these, they can't even think about sales in international markets. That's my personal opinion. Let's see how things fare in the future with that. But there it is. That's the Xiaomi YU7.